2-0 win. I guess at this time of the season, performances are not so important as getting the 3 points, which you've done today professionally.
Yeah, I think what you're doing there is insinuating the performance was probably okay, and the result absolutely is. It's about getting results at the stage of the season, but we've got to appreciate what constitutes a good performance today. Ultimately, you come off the back of a really big effort on Tuesday, where we feel like we could have won the game against a very, very good team. A lot of emotion went into that night, so lads are human. They come out today and we're asking them to give another huge effort against a team that are going to be the best version of themselves. Ultimately, every team that comes to play against us, it's a compliment to us. There's no excuses. I'm not hiding behind it. They're the best version of what they are. I watch their games, and Scarborough, that's probably the best I've seen them play, and they've probably won the last 4, I think they have, without conceding a goal. So I think sometimes the lads deserve a bit of credit. Like I say, is it a performance that's been free-flowing football and we've had hundreds of chances? No, but we just played it and beat a team 2-0, kept a clean sheet, and ultimately they've just won 4 on the spin without conceding a goal. So from that perspective, and again, if everybody did put it into perspective, it's an unbelievable win.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at Scarborough, they are mid-table, but they are a better side than that, I think. They came here with a game plan today. They executed it predominantly pretty well. They kept you quiet, but you still had enough to break the lock a couple of times to get those 2 important goals.
Again, another thing that our lads have got to deal with today is that Scarborough, like you rightly say, they're not going down. They're probably now not going to get to the playoffs, so they come and play with a bit of freedom. There's no pressure on them. So they come here, we've won 4 on the bounce, we've not conceded a goal, let's go to Brackley and just enjoy ourselves. You'll be surprised what that does for a mindset, and you'll be surprised what that does for a team and a performance. So a big part of what we do is making sure we regulate the players, mentally and physically. So like I say, I know people already on the way here from the changing room, people have said, it's all about the result, but it's insinuating that the performance wasn't there. Again, it's a different type of performance. Yes, we've been probably spoilt in my tenure here with free-flowing football, cross after cross after cross, chance after chance after chance, lots of wins. But today was about getting 3 points after a really big effort on Tuesday, and actually grinding down a team that have been unbeaten and not conceded a goal in 4 wins, sorry.
I was going to say, it's fair to say it was, from your perspective, a really professional workmanlike performance then, wasn't it, rather than something absolutely scintillating that we have seen. But it's going to be really important in the last 5 games of the season, because you're still there or thereabouts in with a shout of still getting that title. If the top 2 slip up, you're just behind them to snap at the heels.
I said it on Tuesday, we're not going anywhere. Ultimately, we've got to concentrate on what we're doing. We just said in the changing room there's nothing else in our sights other than South Shields. Every team in this league is a good team. There's no easy game. And going to South Shields is going to be another tough one. There's no doubt about it. We've got to travel all the way up there. There's lots of variables to come into play, but if we're the best version of ourselves, we expect to go there and get a win. But like you just said there, it's a professional performance. Yes, we feel like we could have been a little bit more on the front foot first half. Yes, we feel like our quality could have been better at times, but again, sometimes you've got to look at what constitutes a good performance, and for me, you win 2-0. The lads deserve a bit more credit than people saying, at least it's a result. Big effort on Tuesday. And again, can you feel the disappointment when you put in such a big effort against such a huge club and huge outfit where you deserve more and don't get it? I thought the lads picked themselves up brilliantly today, and again, we know where we need to be better in that changing room, but I'm not having anyone suggest that my players haven't put in a brilliant performance today, albeit a different type of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a shift. One thing I was going to ask you was, sitting up here with us for some of the second half was Morgan Roberts, a key player in your side. Obviously went down with an injury on Tuesday. He says it's not too bad, but he's going to be really important for your running as well if you can get him back fit. Yeah,
I think he's hoping to be back in and around it. I think it'll be close, maybe for South Shields, probably not, but like you say, he's a big part of what we do, but we've recruited really well. We've got Scott Pollock, we've got Jez Abbey that could play in there comfortably, so we've got some excellent players who can certainly fill that position. And maybe, after today, after Scotty Pollock's performance, which we felt was really resolute, maybe it's the right person to be in there against South Shields. So, listen, we need to go away and analyse that, do our due diligence on the opposition, and again, yes, we want to come with a bit more quality. Yes, we want to make sure we're on the front foot a bit more. But credit to my players today. On the foot, I'm allowed to say whatever I want about them, but today they deserve a little bit of a pat on the back in terms of their professionalism and getting a result over the line.
There's clearly a belief here, isn't there? There's a belief in you. There's a belief in your players, and I feel a belief in the supporters that 4-point gap isn't insurmountable, even with only 5 games to go. If you can produce professional performances like that and get the points, Scunthorpe and Kidderminster, they could slip up. They will slip up at some point. So it's still there or thereabouts to go for that title.
Well, we've already said it. Every team in this league is capable of taking points of someone. We've just got to concentrate on ourselves, because inevitably, yeah, you're right, they will, and I think they will. But we've got to concentrate on ourselves. If they go and win all 5 of their games from here on out, then credit to them, they deserve it. So, again, I said the other night, you're talking about what's beneath us, Chester. Others that are in the mix, and then you've got above us, you've got Kidderminster and Scunthorpe. They're all ex-League 2 clubs. What makes Brackley a formidable force isn't the size of budget, isn't the history of the football club being in League 2 and having a huge fan base, or if you probably make it relative to the population, we're probably in and around what they are. When we get 900 here today, and there's a population of 18,500. So, when you make it relative, I suppose our attendances are pretty impressive, but it makes us formidable because we've got supporters who believe in what we're doing, my staff believe in what we're doing, my players certainly do, and then the hierarchy of the football club. When you bring all of those elements together, that's what makes this club formidable. So having that connection between everyone is so important, and I'm, that's why I'm really privileged to be a part of it.
Gavin, obviously South Shields next up, a very, very long trip, particularly at this time of the year. 300-mile round trip probably for you, but you're going to go into that game full of confidence off the back of this and look to pick up the 3 points there at what is a tough place to go.
Listen, we've got to take each game as it comes, and South Shields is, as tough as they come. They're excellent football inside. They enjoy their football, but if we're at it like we are, I think we can be formidable and think we can go there and get the points, and that's what we're aiming for. So that's what makes this so enjoyable, highly competitive, and exciting.
It's a really good performance today. Professional, 3 points on the board, 5 games to go. Good luck on South Shields, and hopefully we won't be talking about the playoffs, we'll be talking about something a little bit better.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, mate.